Hi everyone, welcome back to another video which was taken last weekend. Now weekends are always like a treat for me. We all go out. I do less cooking on most of the weekends unless something special. Unfortunately on Friday, our car had to be given at the workshop and had to stay at home till next day. Had no choice. We could have ordered food but that wouldn't give the same effect of eating out at a restaurant. So I anyway thought of trying out some traditional recipes that would walk into the memories of my childhood and be a bit nostalgic. The recipes are all the way from my mother. Hope you would enjoy this video. So let's get started. Few days back I had a craving for my mom's snack. That's the Neyyappam we call. I had even shown it in one of my Kerala vlogs. My mom prepares this every now and then, especially when we are at home. And many of you had asked for the recipe too, so here it goes. Now this batter has to be prepared a day before, so I made it on Wednesday. I took 2 cups of white rice. I didn't want to make in bulk just because this is a fried snack, so made in small quantity. Soak the white rice for at least 6 to 8 hours. This is the same rice we use for neer dosa and few other snacks. Now this is palm jaggery. This is what I had with me at that time. You may use any type but not sugar. This is around 250 grams. You may increase a bit more if you want it more sweet. Add 1 cup water and melt the jaggery on medium flame. Now strain the water from the rice completely. Add the rice into a mixer grinder. Strain the warm jaggery into the rice. Make sure it's not cold nor hot. It should be warm. Now grind it, but not into a very smooth batter. You should get the batter almost like idli batter. There should be very tiny grains of the rice. The grains shouldn't be large, just that you need to feel it. Hope you can see it clearly here. Add that to a mixing bowl and mix with your palm. It may seem to be a little runny mixture. To make it a bit soft and little thick, I added all-purpose flour, around 1 heaped tablespoon. Whisk well while adding so that there's no lumps. Whisk it thoroughly. Now if you add wheat flour to this, there would be a slight change in the taste. Now let it be completely lump-free. Cover it and try keeping it in a warm place. Thursday as usual, my day starts with a banana and preparing tiffin for kids. Along with preparing the batter for Neyyappam, I had even prepared dosa batter. Around at 4:30 in the evening, I started to prepare the snack. The warm place I had kept the batter was inside my gas oven. It was off, but still it would have that warmth in it. You can see the batter has gone a bit more thick. Now to add in this, heat some ghee. Usually coconut pieces are added. Since I didn't have that, I added grated coconut, around 2 tablespoons. Roast in low flame until the color changes to a light shade. Then add a teaspoon of cumin seeds. You may off the flame now so that it doesn't burn. Then goes half to 1 teaspoon cardamom powder. Mix and let it cool down a bit. Meanwhile, heat an iron kadai, which is the best for frying. Now to get that authentic taste, I have used coconut oil. Now this is black cumin added for an extra taste, and it even looks good after frying the snack, but it's optional. Adding half a tablespoon. Add the warm roasted ingredients along with the ghee. Mix well thoroughly. I added a pinch of salt to get a balance. Check whether the oil is hot enough that when we put a drop of the batter, it comes on top in few seconds. Now remove that. You may pour more or less. I used a medium ladle as a measurement for this. You may use a small cup. Do not turn it with a fork. It would automatically rise to the top. Do not put your heat high. It should be low all time. After a few seconds, turn it over to the other side and cook till it changes its color. You may turn it one more time and then take it off after 10 to 15 seconds. Make sure you remove all the bits and bobs in the oil, or else the next one would break and the batter would leak out, making it out of shape. So be careful of removing it after each turn. Prepare everything the same way and be sure of the heat, it should be low. That evening, getting off for a drive with the snacks, which is what I love to do rather than eating at home. And that's how it looks from inside. Later that night, we had gone for dinner. We had our friend Sanjay joining us, so I carried my prepared snack to share with him. I love this restaurant, but it's not a family one. When men go in, I enjoy eating inside the car. But on this day, there was huge rush and no seat for the men either. Waited some time, but finally left to eat at a new restaurant, Masala Zone. There was dosa batter left from previous day and even curry from lunch. Made very little chutney too. That's our watchman who keeps the building very neat and tidy. Just before giving the car to the workshop, thought of shopping for that day and even for the next day. Trying to adapt few changes, reducing the usage of plastic covers. For lunch, made another traditional recipe. We call it Erachichoru, meaning meat rice. The rice in Malabar side is normally basmati or jeeragashala, but my personal favorite and much tastier one is normal lunch rice. Here I have taken kuruva rice, took 3 cups. washed it well and soaked it in water for some time. This is what I can't resist when I see leftover fish masala, which is leftover from previous day. Just before cleaning the pot, I wiped off all the masala with one dosa. Didn't want to leave even a bit of it. Here I have taken 1.5 kg beef pieces and with bones. You may go for even boneless. I soaked in salt water for a few minutes to get it well cleaned. Grind a piece of ginger, around 8 cloves of garlic and 8 green chilies. I sliced 2 large onions and from this saved half a piece for the rice and the rest for the meat masala. Into a pressure cooker, add 1.5 sliced onion, two large tomato chopped, the ground paste, one teaspoon turmeric powder, 1¼ teaspoon chili powder, that's red chili powder, 1 tablespoon coriander powder, half teaspoon garam masala powder, and in this dish coconut oil is used, so add 2 to 3 tablespoons of that. If the meat was boneless, I would have mixed after adding that, but with bones I wouldn't be able to mix that way. These are dried curry leaves that I stored. Use fresh if you have. Now if you want, you may saute the masala and then cook meat, but for me this is much simpler. Cook the meat on high flame until first whistle and then reduce the flame to medium and cook for 12 to 13 minutes. Wash the rice well and strain. Now this is just to take the water measurement for the rice, and it depends on your rice quality too. Here I took 3 cups of rice and the water amount will be 2 bowls of the total rice measured here. You may add more while cooking if you feel the rice needs more cooking. Into a large heavy bottom cooking vessel, add coconut oil around 3 to 4 tablespoons. To that goes 4 to 6 cardamoms, 4 to 5 cloves and 1 cinnamon stick. After few seconds, add half sliced onion and saute for a couple of minutes. Then add 2 bowls of water. Add half teaspoon turmeric powder, 1 tablespoon coriander powder, half to 1 teaspoon garam masala powder. Then few curry leaves. Now the water is boiling, so add the rice. Mix and cover it and cook on low-medium flame. Now to go along with it, a sweet pickle is made. You can check my recipe for ginger curry, that's the inji curry I had made in my Onam vlog. Since I didn't have time to melt the jaggery, I used dates for sweetness. Add the tamarind pulp and dates together so that the dates go soft while cooking. Cover and cook on low flame. Give a mix to the rice. Now by this time the cooker has released the pressure. Add the beef along with the water. Now the beef wouldn't have cooked fully, and now the rice and beef will slowly get cooked together with the masala. Chop a handful of coriander leaves. Mix, add salt if needed, and then cover. Over here, add some salt. Now the sweetness was a bit less, so you may add sugar or more of dates or even jaggery. Then a teaspoon of red chili powder and half teaspoon turmeric powder. Mix well. I forgot to show here, but just before offing the flame, add a pinch of fenugreek powder. You may store it in a glass jar once it's cooled down and keep it in the refrigerator. Don't forget to give a mix to the rice in between. Once the rice has been cooking for some time and the water has reduced a bit, add 1 spoon of coconut oil and 1 spoon of ghee. Mix well and cover. Make sure it's in low flame, or you may keep it on a heated tawa so that it doesn't catch at the bottom. And make sure all the water in the rice has gone and the rice and beef is cooked well. And the dish is ready now. Serve it hot with curd and the sweet chutney. Then was our evening tea from home, and I had an early dinner that day. Arman was loving this and he's trying to learn on his own. After they all had dinner, I finished up the kitchen cleaning. And that's an empty vessel. The rice quantity was perfect for us that day. I use a little bit of Jif and Fairy dishwashing liquid to remove some tough stains. I soak it in a little water for some time. Then a few drops of Jif and the liquid again, and wash it off well with a steel scrubber. Late night, after kids slept, we walked towards a coffee shop that's very close to where we live, walkable distance. We don't do this every time, but we feel relaxed on such days having some hot or cold coffee. Those are pancakes dipped in melted chocolate. Heavenly combination with the coffee. And that was all for Friday. On Saturday, morning breakfast was steaming rice cake, Kerala puttu. I sometimes fry papads to have along with it. For lunch, prepared coconut rice and chicken curry, again another recipe of my childhood. You will need enough shallots and coconut for this. Red rice is commonly used for this dish. You may even use the same rice I had used for preparing the meat rice earlier. This is the red rice. The cooking time for this is more, and it even depends on the quality. We had late breakfast and kids had coaching class after 2 hours, so they decided to have lunch after coming back. I took 2 cups of red rice. They were leaving with a friend whose kids also were in the same coaching. Washed and soaked the rice. Drain the rice. I'm using a clay pot for getting an authentic taste, but this is completely optional. Add the rice to the pot. Now you may add the fenugreek seeds to the rice and wash together. I had forgotten to do cleaning it in a strainer, and this is half to 3/4 tablespoon of fenugreek seeds. Slice some shallots. Into a mixing bowl, add a cup of grated coconut. Then here I have used 1 cup sliced shallots. Add 3/4 tablespoon of cumin powder. Squeeze and mix well. Then add to the rice. Add half teaspoon turmeric powder. This is to give it a yellow color. Mix all together. Add in some salt. Here again the water depends on your rice quality. I had taken a total of 7 cups of water, normal temperature, and then added a cup more while it was cooking, as I felt it needed a little more cooking. Keep on low flame and cover it. Meanwhile, I had an orange just as a mid-morning fruit. When the rice boils, give a little opening rather than completely covering it, or else it may spill over. For the curry, roasting some coconut, I used 1 cup grated coconut. Add 5 or 6 dried red chilies, 3/4 teaspoon fennel seeds, few curry leaves, 2 tablespoons of whole coriander seeds, 1 teaspoon whole black peppercorns, and 1 tablespoon coconut oil. I had forgotten to add ginger, shallots, and garlic. Need a handful of shallots more for the curry. Grind ginger, few garlic, and green chilies. When the coconut is 3/4 roasted, add half teaspoon turmeric powder and half teaspoon garam masala powder. Roast for few more minutes. Meanwhile, heat coconut oil for the curry. The roasted coconut is ready now. Take it off and let it cool down before blending. Add few curry leaves first. Then add the shallots. Once it has gone soft, add the chicken pieces. This is 1 kilo chicken pieces. Mix well. Don't forget to give a mix to the rice in between. Once the chicken pieces has changed its color, add the ground paste of ginger, garlic and green chilies. Add in some salt. Mix and cover. Let it cook till the raw smell of the paste goes. Add 1 large tomato chopped into small pieces. Cover and cook on medium flame. Check if the water has gone and the rice is cooked, and if so, then it's time to off the flame and cover until serving time. Blend the coconut into a paste, adding little water. Add to the curry and add a cup of water more. Let it boil. Meanwhile, making a tempering, heat coconut oil. Add a handful of sliced shallots and curry leaves. This is optional, but just before offing the flame, add half a teaspoon of Kashmiri red chili powder into the oil. Just a mix and add to the curry. Off the flame and cover until serving time. This is a kind of pickle I love to have all time. Slice a small onion, add some green chilies and salt. Squeeze well. Then add little carrot juliennes. For a better color, you can add beetroot. Add vinegar and a little more salt if needed, and it's ready. It's lunch time. Mix the curry before serving. And that was a heavenly lunch for all of us. I'm sure your mouth would be watering, so please try this at home. And that's my early dinner. Later that night, instead of having dinner, my husband prepared another drink that is very famous in Kerala. That's Avil milk. It's poha roasted and mixed in banana, milk, sugar and many other crunchy stuffs. As I was full with my dinner, I didn't have it a glass full. I just took a sip to taste. This drink is made differently in many parts. I think this is the simplest version. My husband mashed the banana and mixed it with roasted avil, that's the poha. Dissolve the needed sugar in the milk and add to the mix. You may add coconut or skip it, but do definitely add in nuts and dry fruits, and that goes to the next level. You may even add puffed poha for even a better crunch. This is a very refreshing drink, especially in the summers. I don't know why, but I always feel a bit worried when my husband and kids enter kitchen because I know I'll have to spend the rest of my time cleaning everywhere. And thankfully, they cleaned everywhere, but the vessels were left in the sink for me. And that ends today's video. Hope you enjoyed, and I wish you try out our traditional recipes. We Keralites love getting feedbacks from non-Keralites. Don't forget to share among your friends too and let them try out as well. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to click that button. See you with another video. Until then, take care and love you all.